Hello and welcome to this Animal Spirit Wisdom Message Pick a Card reading. This is a timeless reading. So we are today asking our animal spirits, our animal guides for their wisdom, their guidance and any messages that they have for us. So I've got 5 piles of cards laid out here for you to choose from. First of all, you have pile 1 with this Goldstone turtle you might have seen before in my money reading. Then we have this little cat. This isn't actually a crystal. I think this is soapstone. This was given to me, so I'm not entirely sure. This sleepy little cat. Pile 3. This is actually a jade horse. This is a necklace that I've had for a very, very long time. Love that one. Then pile 4. Now this is some wild foraged quartz, and I actually refer to this as my animal skull quartz because that's what it reminds me of. Of course, it's not a skull, it's a piece of crystal, but that's my animal skull quartz there. And pile 5, lastly, we have some Dalmatian Jasper. Thought I'd bring in some dog energy there as well. You see what I did there? If you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel if that resonates for you. Pick your pile of cards and I will see you in the readings. So, hello pile 1, you've chosen the pile of cards with the Goldstone turtle. We will pop him over here and let's take a look at your cards. So for you we have number 29, the giraffe spirit, see the big picture. Number 68, the wombat spirit, be at home. Number 7, the bee spirit, sweet results await. Let's just start there with these 3 cards. Okay, right. I'm actually feeling some quite heavy energy for you, pile 1. It could be that you're very focused on work at the moment, and I'm very drawn to the Goldstone turtle with that as well. It feels like you may be trying to feather your nest at the moment, really getting things together in your life, maybe looking at the big picture, because we are talking about big picture and home. I feel it could be literally that you might be working a little bit too hard at the moment, but you are anticipating good results, which is wonderful. You know, it is good to work towards what we want to achieve, and if you're not already doing it, this could be a nudge for you to actually do that. It may be time now to lay the foundations, to build your nest, to find a place to actually settle down. You know, you might be a nomad, maybe you're somebody who's travelled here and there, that you get itchy feet if you're in one place for too long. There could be a nudge here to actually find your home, and in order to do so, I want to say, find a way to be at home within yourself, and I want to say that to everybody. New levels of feeling at home within yourself, so that can be healing, mostly self-healing. So that can be therapy, it can be, you know, counselling, Reiki, spiritual healing, or it might be that your body, your physical body needs some help, needs some assistance. I get the word chiropractor for some of you. Maybe some of you need to have your back looked at. Oh, I actually got a little twinge of back pain then, lower back pain as I said that, and that's not mine because I don't have back pain. Make sure you're being very careful with your body right now, especially if you are working very hard. I do want to say make sure that you are taking care of your back. That seems very, very important. And remember, this is a group reading, so take the elements that resonate for you, that make sense for you, and leave the ones that don't. So let's bring in our next 2 cards. We have the polar bear and we have the manatee. So I'm just going to read the words on here in case there is an extra message for somebody in here. Stand up for yourself and speak your truth respectfully and compassionately with no attachment to outcome. Beautiful. And the manatee, accept the situation as it is rather than fighting to change it. Okay, interesting. So we've got a bit of a message. A message about speaking up but going with the flow. So this could be about not staying attached to outcomes. Yeah, it's not staying attached to outcomes, and that speaks to me very much of working with the law of attraction, because that is how we do that. We speak to what we want. We may verbalise it, we may write it down, we may declare it out loud, or we may just think the words to ourselves. But we have to get that message out there to the universe of what it is that we want to create, what it is that we want to manifest, and then we have to let go of the outcome. We can't hold on to you know, a vision of exactly how it's going to look, because we don't get to make that final decision. We get to choose the what, not the how. That's what I always say. You know, we get to choose what we want, but not how it happens or exactly what it's going to look like in the end. So it's very interesting, and I think for those of you who are working very hard at the moment, I think you will get your just rewards, even if you're feeling a little bit disheartened at the moment, even if you can't quite see it. I think you will be rewarded, you will be compensated, even if things feel extra hard at the moment. Because with the back pain feeling, I'm feeling like everything's just a bit of a pain at the moment. Everything's a little bit difficult, a little bit challenging. So, oh, okay, there's some cards wanting to come out of the Nature Speak Oracle already. See what we've got here. We have ice and frost, static conditions. Yeah, that can definitely indicate struggling, trying to sort of almost feeling like you're swimming against the tide. Rainbow, hidden gift. And we have the elm, trust, intuition. Okay, yeah. So again, I really want to talk about the law of attraction with this one. And that could be something that you're working with consciously or not. You know, you may just be literally trying to create a specific situation in your life, or wanting to create certain situations in your life, bring something, you know, so it comes to pass. That's what I want to say. And it may feel very much like an uphill struggle at the moment, but I think your efforts will be worth it. With the bee, it does feel like a positive outcome is coming, but it comes from wisdom, and it also comes perhaps from using methods that are a little bit unusual, perhaps. So something a little bit innovative, or maybe a little bit magical. You know, you might be helping yourself along the way there. Got a little bit of an Aquarian energy coming in here, Aquarius, Age of Aquarius energy. So ice and frost, yeah, you could really feel quite stuck at the moment. And what I want to say with elms, now, in my country where I live, I don't know that there are many elms left, because most of them died from Dutch elm disease. Okay, now I have seen elms, but I saw them on the other side of the world in isolation. They were very much isolated from other trees of their kind. I saw them in Australia, and they were healthy because obviously the disease couldn't get to them, it couldn't reach them. So the elm, it feels like there's a sensitivity here. And it says on the card, trust your intuition, but I want to talk about the sensitivity and make sure that you're not being harmed, because I feel like you may be somebody who is very sensitive. You may be highly empathic and perhaps not realise how much you're taking on of other people's stuff. Okay, and that could be something that's holding you back. I feel like the animals want to say, you know, you have some gifts which may be hidden to you at this point in time. You may not be fully aware of what all your psychic gifts are, but they will come to the fore if they haven't already. And I want to say, if you're already working with your abilities, your psychic abilities, it could be mediumship, you might read cards, you might be telepathic, telekinetic, you know, whatever your abilities are. And people are expanding on their abilities as we move on at the moment as well, which is absolutely fascinating. You know, more abilities coming to light as we evolve as a human race. I do want to say work more with them. But if we look at this, this looks like a snowy landscape. This is like tundra. Almost like tundra Arctic landscape or something going on here. So again, it's very cold. Very cold, so it might feel like a winter season in your life, as though everything's quiet at the moment and you're waiting for the results to manifest. Okay, and the winter time is necessary. I think this could indicate that there is perhaps a period of rest for you, or maybe things just aren't appearing on the surface just yet, and I want to say that's okay. I do want to bring in some reassurance here that you will get what you've asked for. Don't cling to a specific outcome, because it will look how it is supposed to look. All right. It may come in really quite differently to how you were expecting it to. I want to talk about you being a light worker as well with this rainbow. I do. I want to talk about you. I don't call us light workers anymore. I call us integration workers, because we should be working on integrating light and shadow. You know, it's not helpful if you're only working on half of the whole and then rejecting the other half, pretending it doesn't exist or it's somehow bad. It's not helpful at all. I do want to talk about that for you. So I do want to say, make sure that you are shielding your aura. Okay, that you are taking care of your aura with this rainbow. I'm kind of drawn to the aura. I want shame. Shame. Oh, okay. There may be some shame attached to your gifts, or you may have been shamed or ridiculed for them in the past. So there could be a theme of shame actually coming through here. And my cat's yelling at the door, so apologise if you can hear Bedford. Sorry, Bedford, you can't come in. Bengal cats and candles do not mix. It's not safe. He will just climb up here and everything will go off on the floor. He's a very disruptive energy. But it does feel like... yeah, maybe you were shamed into not using them, or maybe you don't realise they're there because you were ashamed or you felt embarrassed about that sort of thing. So there could be something to explore with your spirituality here as well, which is really quite interesting, quite fascinating. But there's a lot of wisdom in this numerology here with 29, 11, 2. I'm hoping he can't open the door. He's trying, but I don't think he can open this one. He's desperate to beat the door down. So it does feel very much like your animal guides really want to beat the door down and get this message to you very loudly. You will get where you're going, and don't reject your hidden gifts, okay? Don't reject the hidden aspects of you, the wonderful, amazing aspects of you. And, you know, you may already be working with them. You may be fully aware of them already. And I just want to say, keep going with that. Okay, don't hide your light under a bushel. Bring them in. It may be appropriate for you to actually bring them into your kind of more mundane life, your more day-to-day life, and actually to give you an extra edge so that you can achieve more than you could without them. So let's bring in a couple of these little angel cards now. Just to get a last little message for you here. We have purification. Interesting. Yeah. And compassion. Yeah, and I want to talk about self-compassion here for you, pile one. I want you to be very kind and loving to yourself at the moment. I think you're being way too hard on yourself, perhaps because you can't see the results yet, or you think you won't be able to achieve the results. Maybe you're literally beating yourself up, like my cat's beating up the door handle of my room right now. And purification, I do want to talk about keeping your energy clear, okay? Be aware if you're an empath, if you're picking up on other people's emotions. Learn some techniques to clear your energy, to cleanse your energy, to keep it shielded and protected, and to ground it at the beginning and the end of the day. And I want you to look into some practices to actually do that on a daily basis, or even more than once a day. So that's your reading, pile one. There's a lot of you to be getting on with there. The animals have given you some homework. So I do hope that was helpful. If another pile also resonates for you, you can, of course, watch that one too. You can watch 2 or 3 of those. If there's more than one that resonates, there may be some messages for you there as well. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to subscribe, leave me a like if you enjoyed this video, and leave me a comment if there is something that you'd like to share, or if there's another type of video that I haven't made that you would like to see me make. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sending you lots of love. Thank you. Bye-bye. So, hello pile 2. You've chosen the pile with the little cat here. We're going to pop our cat over here and let's take a look at your cards. So we have number 31, the groundhog spirit, time to let go. 59, starfish spirit, open to infinite possibility. And number 5, bat spirit, a rebirth is assured. Wow, so there could be some very big themes happening in your life at the moment. It seems like change is certainly on the cards, lots of red. So I want to say that it's something very practical, very concrete happening in your life at the moment. It may be a relationship that you're letting go of for some people. It may be major life changes to do with your lifestyle, to do with how you work, what sort of work you do, whether you're able to work. You might have just retired. I think for some people that's possible, because there is this feeling of not being able to do what you want to do. So you may have lost a job, you may have lost a person. That there's certainly there's a lot passing at the moment, and it's very close to your heart as well. Look how the little beaver spirit is holding onto this little heart ever so closely. Not beaver, groundhog. I said beaver. Maybe there's a connection there with beaver. There is a beaver card in here, so that's interesting. Might show up in one of the other piles. With the groundhog spirit, look how he's holding on to that. Beautiful. And 31-4 as well. Yes, it's like a new foundation. You're having to create a whole new plan now. The individual creating the plan, influencing the blueprint, maybe influencing the blueprint for the wider group as well. Perhaps you're actually drawn to partake in local politics or in your local council or some sort of community event here. I feel you have quite an altruistic energy to you, so there's that as well. But the starfish coming in to remind you that this is an infinite energy that we live in. You know, the universe has no limits. We as human beings have some limits at the moment, and that's just how it is. But there is a lot more that you can have. I say that there's a very ancient voice trying to talk through me at the moment. There's a very... Oh, that's interesting. It's like they're trying to channel through me at the moment. This just happened occasionally. Bear with me. It's like it's something very ancient from a previous time wants to actually talk through me at the moment. So I'm just going to see if we can come to an agreement about how we're going to do that. It does feel like there is a higher power trying to speak through at the moment. And this could show up in the form of animals. It could be an animal guide, but it feels, the language feels very ancient and simple. So it could be coming from an animal guide, could be coming just from one of your spirit guides, from a very ancient being wanting to speak here, reminding us of the power in everything, the energy, the five elements that you can work with, the five elements. There may be a draw here to actually work with witchcraft, which I think you would be very good at if you're not already doing it. And I'm staring at my pumpkin from Halloween as I say that. Yeah, I think there's a very, very strong possibility for that. And 59, so 59, 14, 5. So yeah, you can bring yourself back into balance, but you won't do it by focusing on what you don't have anymore. You must focus on possibilities. You must focus on what you can have, because I don't think you realise just what you can have in your life. And I think it can be really wonderful. And then we come to this beautiful bat here. The bat sees things from a different perspective because he's upside down. He sleeps upside down and it doesn't make him feel unwell at all. He quite likes it. So this is about rebirth with this sweet little bat. So it could feel like a new phase of your life, a different phase of your life. It's almost like a new lease of life with the bat as well. It does feel like these new magical possibilities coming in for you, but coming in off the heels of something much more difficult potentially. And remember, this is a group reading, so it's going to be slightly different for everybody. You know, take the elements that make sense for you, leave the ones that don't. You may also be drawn to watch one or two of the other piles as well. I would suggest this is a good one. If you feel drawn to 2 or 3, then do watch them. So very interesting energy, and there is a deep communication coming through from a very ancient energy here, I want to say. And this could be your guides. It could be something you're aware of, might be something you're not aware of at all. Could be some ancestral karma as well, something from your ancestral line coming through here. But it feels like it goes back a very, very long way. I want to go several thousand years back with this energy. This isn't anything new coming to the fore, but it is coming in very much to support and guide you at this time, which I think will be very welcome. And we got another 5 here, so 59, 14, 5, and then just number 5. So it is about I think you can find logical solutions, but I think it's a case of opening your mind, working from an open mind. It's not that you don't have to use the mind and you have to work solely from imagination or intuition. No, open your mind and then you will see the possibilities. Look at things from another perspective, from another angle, and then you will see which way you can actually move forwards. So let's bring in some more cards. We have the boar, okay, and we have the dog. Okay, I'm just going to read the words on these cards because they may be meaningful for somebody. So, face your problems head on with confidence and courage and you will emerge victorious. Well, wild boar are not to be messed with. Very powerful animals, if you've ever encountered one. Very, very strong, very fast as well. Write your car off if you have a tangle with one of those. And the dog. Your loyalty and faithfulness is misplaced by serving too many masters. So are you letting your energy be pulled in the wrong direction at the moment? Do you have some misplaced loyalty, or are you still hanging on to something that needs to stay in the past? Maybe you're still hanging on to an ex-partner or an old situation, or to even to a place of work that's getting rid of you or is not treating you well. I want to say that there's a lot to let go of here. And the boar comes in with a real energy of assertiveness. I want to talk about the wild boar, although it says boar pig on this. I want to go wild boar with this one because I feel a much more wild energy, and I just saw one running through my mind as I tuned into this one. Very assertive. You know, they know they're still in contact with their wild nature, and that's what I want for you. I want to say, tap into that wild nature. Let go of any misplaced loyalty that you're still holding. Be loyal to yourself now, and allow yourself to find new solutions to any problems that you're having at the moment. You know, they could be large or small, but I feel there's a message of assertiveness here, of self-importance as well, but in a good way. In a good way. I want to say, look at how important you are. Look at how necessary you are. And you don't have to run around after other people to be important. You don't need other people's approval to be important, to be valuable. You are already important and valuable. So I really want to give you a bit of a boost there. So tulip, trust in your efforts. Yes. Desert, resilience and strength. Well, you have plenty of that. and redwood, ancient teachings. Yes, there's definitely some ancient energy coming through for you, pile 2. There's definitely a very ancient voice that was trying to come through. So you may be very drawn to ancient teachings, to wisdom teachings at the moment. I was mentioning witchcraft earlier with the 5-pointed star of the starfish. Something very ancient is calling to you at the moment, and you do have very great strength, very deep resilience, and that does come from your many past lives. And I think you may not feel like you can trust yourself at the moment, and this is what I was saying. You can trust your mind. You have a logical, analytical mind. You can think your way through this. You know, of course spirit will guide you, but I feel that some of the solutions literally have to come from the mind and the higher mind. You can find a logical way through this, and I want to give you a boost. Again, there's more red coming through here with the tulips. I mentioned the red are very drawn to the root chakra, so it could be that your root chakra needs a little bit of a boost at the moment. You could use a bit of a boost. Let's bring in a crystal to do that. There we go. Let's bring in some red jasper. Yeah, and this is a very grounded stone as well. This isn't crystal. This is, I believe, soapstone, but look at the colour of it. This is a very grounded crystal, so it feels like your energy needs a bit of stability. It needs some grounding. It needs some support as well from the foundations upwards. And I think this is the message that the animal guides want to bring through, the animal spirits want to bring through, that message of support from the other side. There is a huge amount of support for you from the spirit realm, a huge amount of support. And you may feel yourself actually drawn to ancient teachings, to study ancient practices at the moment, and that could become a much bigger part of your life. I think that will help to bring your self-confidence back as well, and your physical strength too. Your physical body may need a little bit of attention with all of this red, with the root chakra, the base chakra. It could be your physical body, some very basic needs that need to be met at the moment. But there is assurance here that you'll find a way through. So it's a very beautiful message here. So let's get a couple of these little angel cards here. What have we got? We have balance. And we have abundance. Oh, that's nice. I'm feeling a connection to pile 1 here, actually. So you might feel drawn to watch pile 1 as well. Abundance, yes. You will be taken care of. You will be taken care of. You will find your balance. You will find a way to actually get through this in a balanced way. Yeah, I do see that balance coming back into your life. And it's interesting because we've got 59, 14, 5. So 14 is temperance, but it is a card that is all about finding balance within yourself, being balanced, your emotions being balanced, you know, your finances being balanced, all aspects of you being ordered, very nicely and gently ordered. It's not a restrictive energy, it's a gentle and balanced energy. So that is assured. There may also be a little bit of a windfall coming in for you here with abundance. There may be an unexpected gift, unexpected windfall payment, something coming in that you were not anticipating as well, I want to say. And I think that will help, you know, if you're needing help taking care, just to keep you on top of bills at the moment. It could be that simple, that basic. But I feel there is some support. There is a lot of support, maybe some unexpected support that Spirit are going to be sending your way. I'm going to bring in a couple more cards here. So we've got garden, time for nurturing, yes. And hot spring, return to the sacred. Yeah, there's definitely a pull to go outside. Nature magic is calling to you at the moment. Definitely a pull in that direction. Maybe something you're already interested in, that you already study, but there's kind of a nudge to get to the next level in that case. If you're already doing it, go further, I want to say, because I think that will light the way to you. I'm very drawn to the little lamp, the lantern on this card here. It kind of takes me to hermit energy, takes me to number 9 energy, which is the end of a cycle, getting ready for the new one. But it's also wisdom, it's also being a light and a guide for others, and I think you will be in due course. But at this point you must focus on yourself, you must focus on how you are going to move forwards, and I think you will find some really interesting and original ways to do that. But you will be taken care of in the meantime, I want to say, if you have any worries, any concerns there. And you definitely have the strength to get through any difficulties in your life right now. So I do hope that that was helpful to you, pile 2. Obviously this is a group reading, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If this was helpful, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Leave me a like if you enjoyed this video, and please do leave a comment if there's something you'd like to share with us, because I do love to read your comments. You take very good care of yourself. Sending you blessings. Bye-bye. So hello pile 3, you've chosen the pile of cards with the Jade horse here. We are going to pop our GG over here, and let's take a look at your first cards. So we have 32, Hawk Spirit, let Spirit be your guide. Okay. Number 1, Ant Spirit, time to collaborate. And 47, Pig Spirit, use your mind wisely. So I've got 32, 5, 47, 11, 2. So there's some wisdom energy coming through, and it is all about the mind. Okay, I like the numerology there. I've been very cheeky here today. Okay, so, okay, pile 3. It does feel very much like there's quite a straightforward message here for most of you. And remember, this is a group reading, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But it does feel like Spirit, like your guides, really want to work with you now, and they would like your intuition to take more of a front seat at the moment. And that's not to say that your conscious mind should take a back seat. It just means it should have more of an equal collaboration with your intuition, with your subconscious, with other aspects of you, with other aspects of your mind. It feels like you may have been leaning a little bit too much into the conscious mind, what we might call the ego mind, which isn't very wise necessarily. It knows lots of things that it's learned throughout its lifetime, but very often we learn the wrong things, or we learn things which are untrue. For example, if we're called names as a child, or we don't receive praise, then we might learn that we are unworthy, or that we're bad somehow, which is untrue. So I do want to talk about unhelpful or even unhealthy thought patterns that you may have wrestled with throughout your life, which may be influencing you without you really even thinking about it, without you really even realising it. Although you may know on some level, but you kind of never really done anything about it, or you may have done something about it, or you may have worked on it. But there is a bit of a nudge here to take it to the next level, regardless of where you find yourself at the moment. Really become the observer of the mind, let the intuition come in, let the spiritual guidance come in to help you here as well. Really find that balance between spiritual guidance and, you know, our lower aspects of mind. So the higher mind, the spirit mind, our spirit guides, our animal guides, the signs. I want to say with the Hawk Spirit as well, look for signs. I feel there are a lot of signs around you at the moment. You may be asking questions of spirit. There may be something very much on your mind. And with any kind of bird, we can see omens very often. The hawk can fly higher than us. He can see further over the horizon, so he knows what's coming. So it does feel as though spirit are trying to send you messages. It could be angels, particularly, that you're working with. Does feel like they are trying to show you the way, trying to show you the omens, show you the messages, nudge you in a particular direction to help you. Because there's this real collaborative energy. It feels like the spirit realm's really trying to help you out right now. You may have directly asked them, or indirectly, just by wanting something, just by trying to manifest or create something in your life. But it's definitely finding that balance between the arcane and the mundane, I think, is really going to be key for you here. So let's bring in some more cards. Okay, so we have the mouse and we have the goose. Okay, I just heard the word silly goose. I don't know if that was for me. Could be. Right, let's read the words on these cards, because there may be some extra messages for somebody watching here. So mouse, you're overlooking some important details, so pay closer attention to what's going on, all right? And goose, take time to rest and recuperate rather than continuing your striving. Okay, so again, I'm getting a message that something is out of balance, and I'm kind of getting a feeling I'm going back to pile 2 a little bit with this energy as well. So there could be a connection with pile 2 there for you. It does feel like something is out of balance, and I was saying about it being the higher aspects of self and the lower aspects of self that are perhaps at war with each other, perhaps not agreeing, perhaps leading you astray, and it could be difficult to make decisions at the moment, or you may be trying too hard against your better judgment at something because you think you have to do something or you should do something. The word should could be problematic for you at the moment. You could be shoulding yourself into oblivion. You could be doing things that you think you're supposed to do rather than what you actually want to do, or what your heart tells you, what your intuition tells you, or what you even want to do. We can end up in relationships we don't want to be in jobs we don't want to be in situations that are really unhealthful for us. And that could be the case for you at the moment. So there is this need very much to look at everything in your life, to look at what's going on there. So with the mouse, pay attention to the details as well. The devil is always in the detail, isn't it? And the hawk can see. The hawk can always see what's going on, because the hawk flies higher, and the hawk can eat the mouse. So the mouse has to be very careful about what it does. So there is almost like a little bit of a battle here going on. It feels like an inner battle, whatever that is for you, you know, however that shows up. There's a bit of argy-bargy going on in your life, I want to say. It could be external, you know, it could be at work as well. Someone might be taking advantage of you, someone might be making things difficult or trying to get one up on you in the workplace. Be very careful if you have any contracts or anything to sign at the moment. If you know, you might be going through a divorce. The devil's in the details, so make sure you're paying attention to those tiny details, to those tiny crumbs, and also don't accept crumbs from somebody else because you are worth so much more. Okay, let's bring in some Nature Speak Oracle cards here, see what else they have to say for us. So we have Beach, Power in Prayer. Ah, okay. Swamp, Face Your Fears. Yeah. And Elm, Trust Your Intuition. That's the second outing for Elm in this reading. That also came out for pile 2, so that's interesting. So we have got a connection to pile 2 there for some of you. Remember, it's a group reading. So 2 trees. Okay, so we've got 2 trees coming in, but it is about intuition and prayer. So I do want to say this is about trusting your intuition, trusting the power of prayer, the power of manifestation, the power of your inner self. I want to say your inner life as well. Trusting that you can do so much more with that, that you can leverage the energy of prayer, of manifestation, of magical working, you know, coming from the heart, of course, coming from the right place. It feels like you could do a lot when you unify all of those aspects of you together. It could be that you keep your spiritual life very much separate from, I don't know, your work life or your relationships. It feels like they really need to come together right now. So there could also be an issue with you being with a partner who is not spiritual at all, whereas you're very spiritual, and that could be causing a problem at the moment. So yeah. But it certainly is time to face your fears. It is time to bring those two together. And that can be a pretty scary thing to do when you're revealing to other people exactly who you are, exactly what it is that you're about, what you're into, you know. I'm used to people thinking I'm crazy, but even because of what I do, you know, I was always the weird kid who was into this stuff. But at the same time, you know, there's still a reticence to talk about it, to be fully open with people about it, which is, I think, completely understandable. And certainly in certain countries, you can't be open about it because your life could be at risk. So, you know, be sensible depending on where you are. But certainly there is a journey, a rite of passage, I feel, coming up for you here. There is a rite of passage, and I feel there will be some big changes coming into your life as well here. I'm just going to bring in 2 more cards. I want to bring in off the bottom Ferns, New Wonders, and off the top Lily, Time of New Birth. There we go. Yeah, that new stuff is coming. It does feel like you can have the things that you want. You can, if you're brave enough to work these 2 different aspects of self. Trust both aspects of self. Trust your higher self. Trust your guides. Okay, trust is a very difficult word. Okay, if you've ever done any like training in the psychic arts or in mediumship or something like that, you hear the word trust a lot. Your teachers will always say, you've got to trust what you get, and we don't like the T word, okay? It's just like, oh, I've got to trust again, oh no. It's very hard to trust, and we have to learn to trust. So you need to learn to trust yourself, learn to trust your guides, your higher abilities, and then implement what they tell you to do. That's pretty scary, okay? And they will point out the tiny details to you. They will point out what needs to be done. And with the Lily here, a new birth, I just want to say there could be a connection for you and mediumship. You could actually be a natural medium. You could be somebody who can communicate with spirit, with the spirit realms, with the spirit world, with people who have passed over from this lifetime to the next one, or to the spirit world. I feel there could be a connection with that for you, or you could be drawn, you know, to actually help people to pass over. There's a name for that. What's it called? It's like almost like a doula, or a what is it, midwife, soul midwife. I think that's one of the words it's got. I'm quite drawn to that for some of you as well. Obviously that's not for everyone, but I am quite drawn to that for some of you. So there could be a connection there to the afterlife, or you may literally work in, you know, in palliative care, or even embalming. That could be something that you do. You could be connected to funerals. There is a strong connection with the spirit world with you regardless, one way or another. I think you can't get away from that. But there's a wonderful new forest waiting for you on the other side of the swamp. I want to say that there are some things to iron out. It will take a lot of bravery to get through it, but I think if you close your eyes and let your spirit guide you, I think you can reach this new forest here. So that's really quite an exciting message for you there. So let's bring in a couple of little angel cards, see what we've got here. We have presence. Yes, be present in the present. And our spirit guides can really help us to do that sometimes, you know, because we can end up worrying. We can end up, and worry takes us into the future, or we can end up being sad about things that have happened in the past, and staying present can be incredibly difficult, and our guides can help us to do that. So, and spontaneity. Oh, that's nice. Little nudge to be more spontaneous. So again, you could be overthinking things. This mind aspect could really be ruling you at the moment, really could be overthinking things. It might be time to pick up The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, or if you haven't read it, or read it again if you have. So there is a little bit of a nudge there to really become the master of your mind, master of your own fears. And there's really good things there for you if you're prepared to take those steps, to trust yourself, trust in the universe, and actually move towards them. So that's your reading, pile 3. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're drawn to any other readings, like particularly reading 2, I think you might be drawn to, please do watch another one as well. I don't know about 4 or 5 because I haven't recorded them yet. See what you're drawn to. Please do take a moment to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave me a like, leave me a comment if there's something you'd like to share with us. And I'm sending you many blessings. Bye-bye. Hello, pile 4. You've chosen the pile of cards with the little animal skull quartz, which I'll pop over here. Let's take a look at your first cards. We have number 10, the buffalo spirit, the abundant universe will provide. Beautiful. We have 52, the scarab beetle spirit, magic works through you. And we have number 40, the mouse spirit, tend to the small things. So there could be a connection to pile 3 here, because we also had a mouse in that one. So I'm just going to throw that out there. All right, if that resonates, you can watch that one too, of course. So, interesting numerology. There's definitely some change coming in here. So this could be a little bit of a turbulent time, but it's interesting because I feel like you're a really ancient soul. And that kind of makes sense that you would have picked the crystal that looks like a skull. It doesn't surprise me, I guess. And I didn't look at the cards before I picked the crystals that went with them. You know, this is completely serendipitous. But I feel like you've had many ancient lifetimes. There's a lot of ancient wisdom that comes to the fore when you walk in the room. There's a lot here. But it does feel like you need to actually do something with that now in your lifetime. It feels like it is time for you to implement that more into your daily life, into your everyday life, or to make that magical practice. It may be your life's work. It may be something incredibly important to you. But you bring in a lot of wisdom from many ancient cultures, I want to say, not just one. You're a very old soul. You've had many, many lifetimes. That's very clear to me indeed. Very clear. And you may be drawn to one ancient tradition or another, or to 10, and that's why. Because you don't just have a connection with one, you have a connection with many. And possibly some starseed energy in there as well. Very drawn to this beautiful painting on the scarab. I want to go to Sirius with that one. Strong connection with ancient Egypt and Sirius. So 52, 7, yeah, of course it would be wisdom, wouldn't it? So there's a lot of wise energy coming through here. But with this 10 and this 40, I feel like there's a change needs to happen in your life. It feels like a new era is either about to begin or has begun at the moment, and you might not be quite sure where to go with it. But there is this reminder that you just have to go about your day-to-day business. You know, let the universe sort out the big stuff. Let it sort out the big themes. You just go about your business and do the small things. The universe will provide the big stuff. You've asked for what you wanted, you know, or you're asking for what you want. It's coming. I feel like it's coming. There is this presence, this energy of anticipation that comes through with these cards here. So let's bring in our next cards. We have the chameleon and the tortoise. So I am going to read the words on these cards in case there are some extra messages for somebody here, because this is a group reading, of course, so you take the bits that resonate for you, that make sense for you, and you leave the parts that don't. So with the chameleon, stay in the background and adapt to the situation rather than being conspicuous and attempting to direct the course of events. And the tortoise, you're too fragmented, so do whatever it takes to get grounded. So yeah, you could be struggling very much. Tortoise is about grounding. You could be a little bit fragmented right now, particularly if you are working with ancient energies, if you're doing a lot of spiritual work, if you're doing a lot of meditation, we can end up a bit ungrounded. So there is a little bit of a message there to remember to ground yourself, shield your energy, cleanse your energy. I say this ad nauseum, like literally all the time, to my clients, to my students, to myself. Ground clear, you know, ground clear, shield. You've got to be doing these things regularly, and make sure that you are doing what you need to do in your everyday life as well. I want to say make sure that you are not doing too much spiritual work, because that can definitely be a thing. You know, we spend too much time in the upper realms, and then we forget to buy milk, and we end up with no milk in the fridge and no toilet paper in the bathroom. Or worse, we end up with toilet paper in the fridge and milk in the bathroom. As I've said many times before, we don't want that. We want to keep you grounded, because it does look like the universe is sorting this out for you. Whatever your situation is, it's bringing in something new and wonderful for you that you have asked for. And the chameleon is just reminding you to just go with the flow. You don't have to try and change anything, okay? The universe has got this. You just do your stuff. You stay grounded. You do your day-to-day stuff. The universe is bringing a big change for you regardless. So it's just a case of being ready for it. You don't have to try and force things to go in a specific manner, and try to stay unattached from the outcome here as well. Whatever it is you're hoping for, you're asking for, change that you want in your life. Just don't be too attached to the outcome. Let it go, let it flow, and the universe will bring what is right for you through its great wisdom. So we have sunshine. Oh, it's lovely. Shine forth. You are the fourth reading. That's quite fun. Rowan, control and discern. Yeah. And daffodil, trust in your power. Yeah, it's like the smaller aspect of you really wants to control and cling to some things right now, and there just isn't any need to. So there could be a little nudge here to do some work with sunshine and the daffodil. I want to say on the solar plexus chakra, on self-esteem. That could be something that you need to work on here. There's a little nudge there to look at that chakra, make sure it's not out of balance. You might want to give it some healing. Sunshine is wonderful for the solar plexus chakra. Yeah, but I want to say, don't try too hard. I feel like you don't need to try too hard at the moment. And you might be one of these people that insists on doing everything for yourself. You might be a very, very bad receiver. Okay, and that could be a very big part of your lesson at the moment. Your challenges at the moment could be receiving, could be challenging yourself to allow other people to do things for you, allow other things to arrive for you that you haven't necessarily done all the work for by yourself. You don't have to be so damned independent all the time for some of you. Okay, you know who you are. The people I'm speaking to, you know who you are. You don't have to do everything for yourself. Okay, now that won't be for everybody. It's a group reading, but there's some of you out there that really need to hear that. Okay, really, really need to hear that. Let's bring in some more cards. We have Birch, Heal the Past. Ah, yes. Yeah. And we have Marshland, Transition and Change. So yeah, definitely a time of transition where you might feel very off kilter. You might actually be in therapy at the moment. You might be working with a therapist to heal from some past trauma, to heal from, you know, past difficulties, whatever it is, which is a wonderful thing to do. And if you're not doing it, it may be time to think about actually doing that. Find ways to heal from the past through whichever modality you are drawn to, whichever way you like best to do that, because these changes are coming, and this will help to heal you so that you can really take advantage of the good stuff coming into your life, but also to help you with this transition, I do feel, because there are changes coming in your life, and it's kind of like it or not energy, because we had 10 and we had 40, but you're ready for it. You are ready for it because you've got 40 there as well as 10. The change is coming, but you're ready for this change now, whether you want to be or not. It's quite another matter. We don't know about that. Let's bring in some angel cards here. So we have authenticity. Yeah. It's difficult to be authentic when you're trying to be someone else, when you haven't healed from past hurts, when you feel like you have to do everything for yourself and for everybody else, and you can't rely on anybody else, and you can't trust anybody else. It's very difficult to be authentic. So there could be some issues to do with trust here as well. Again, we have the word trust on the daffodil cards. It could be solar plexus stuff again, but trust certainly seems like an issue. It could be trust in the universe that's lacking, trust in yourself, trust in the goodness of people as well. And you may have very good reasons for that, you know, very good reasons not being able to trust people. You may have had some terrible experiences. Surrender. Yeah. There's certainly a surrendering that needs to happen here. I do want to talk about the energy of surrender. So when we surrender and release, it allows the universe to bring things to us that we've actually asked for. And it can be very difficult for the universe to bring us what we've asked for, you know, if we're trying to manifest or just trying to make stuff happen in our life. It can be very difficult energetically for that to happen if we are clinging to certain ideas, certain beliefs about ourselves, to very specific outcomes, and we refuse to accept anything else. We won't anyone else help us. No, I have to do this all by myself, or I don't want it. You know, that kind of unhelpful thinking, whatever it is for you. It feels like there's some very stubborn energy, some very stuck energy. You might be a bit of a control freak. You know, you might have a bit of OCD going on there. You know, it's going to be different for everybody, but you know what your challenges are. So it may be time to surrender some of that, to actually surrender it to God. I want to say let go and let God. And it doesn't matter, you know, what your religion or spirituality is at this point, whether it's God, goddess, both, doesn't matter. I want to say let go and, you know, let go and let God, let go and surrender and release whatever it is that you're holding on to a higher power. Just let go of that responsibility. I just want to take a big sigh of relief there and go, oh, I can let go of this now. Oh, thank heavens. Okay, so yes, I want to achieve this, but I don't have to cling. I can let go of the energy and wait for what is mine to come to me. And it is safe for you to do that. It is safe for you to receive. So there is learning to trust in the higher power, knowing that good things are coming, and also believe in, I love that. Okay, apple, believe in your dreams. You will get your beautiful shiny apple. It won't be a poisoned apple from a wicked stepmother. Okay, again, believe in yourself, believe in the universe. All right. It doesn't always have to be the most terrible outcome. You might be somebody who wants to look on the bright side, but maybe you really struggle with having a sunny attitude. Again, with the sunshine card here. So I want to say, believe in yourself, believe in the outcomes that you want, believe that you can have it, and start learning how to receive. Start saying yes to life. Let go of your problems. Hand them over to the divine. Hand them over to the angels, to God, goddess, and learn to receive. And we can practice that just by saying yes when somebody offers to give us something or do something for us. And that can be very uncomfortable if you're not used to doing that. Just remember, it's okay. Just say yes. This person offered to carry my bag to my car. Well, I don't really need them to do that, but say yes anyway. Just practice to get some practice. This person offered to give me this thing. I don't really need it. I'd like it, but I don't really need it. And I felt like I'd be putting them out if I said yes. No, just say yes. That's the old thought pattern coming in. Okay. If you're anything like me, I was taught that if somebody offers you something, you say no. You have to say no because you're putting them out. And that's a terrible mindset, and that will definitely block your receiving, can definitely block your work with the law of attraction or manifesting the things that you want in your life if you can't say yes to the smallest thing. You know, they might just be offering you a sticky bun, you know, it's, here, would you like an iced bun? Oh, no, I can't have that. Maybe you can, maybe you should. Maybe it is time to eat the bun. So, pile 4. I hope that was helpful. It's been absolutely wonderful to read your energy today. If you're drawn to any other readings, please do watch those as well. Piles 1, 2, 3 or 5. I feel there could be a connection to 3 for you, so that might be a good one to watch. You take very, very good care of yourself, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye-bye. So hello, pile 5. You've chosen the pile of cards with the Dalmatian Jasper because this is animal spirit messages, and I didn't have a dog, and I thought I'd bring in a crystal which is named after a dog because of its amusing pattern, which does very much look like a Dalmatian. Or I assume that's what it's named after. Who knows? I could be wrong. Okay, so let's bring in our first cards here for you. We have number 12, the Canary Spirit, sing your own song. We have number 6, the Beaver Spirit. Now it's interesting, we've got a connection, I think it's to pile 2, the one with the groundhog, where I accidentally said beaver and I said beaver might show up in another reading. So I think there's a connection here to pile 2 or pile 3 for you. Lay a solid foundation. And then pile 20, Dolphin. Not pile 20, card 20, Dolphin Spirit. We have not got 20 piles of cards today. That I can assure you. I think I'd pass out if I had to do that many. Right. Alrighty then, so Canary Spirit on 12-3, sing your own song. Beaver Spirit, lay a solid foundation. On 6, number of the heart. And 20, this and that are true with the Dolphin Spirit. Quite an original energy that comes in here. I feel like you're quite an original person. We could be dealing with a Gemini Aquarius type person here, I think. Very interesting. But it feels like you need a little bit of stability in your life, but you also need to be able to be yourself. And that could be the dichotomy that you've been struggling with, or that you struggle with in your life generally. And like the dolphin says, you should be able to have both. So it feels like a struggle between wanting two things that appear to be in opposition to each other, which could be different for every person, because of course this is a group reading, but needing both of them. So it is finding a way to compromise and have both. Okay, and compromise doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Compromise can be wonderful. That's where we find our balance. That's where we really are in charge of our life, because look at this canary with his wonderful little crown on. You know, the canary knows he is king of his castle, and it comes in on 12-3 as well, 12 number of perfect governance. So it is about very much being in charge of your own life. And then 3, 1 + 2 is 3. Which is why we get 12-3. So 3 is the number of the blueprint. So it does feel like the blueprint for your life needs to be quite unique. Unique to you. It may already be, but that's important. You are really quite a unique person. You've got really quite an original energy. There's a bit of an Atlantean energy coming through here, maybe Lemurian energy. You're an ancient soul who's come through with some of these, I want to say, energy codes. I'm getting the word spirit codes. I'm not sure what that means. But certainly you are here to help bring in the new age of Aquarius. You are an ancient soul with magical knowledge, bringing very special knowledge to the world right now. But I feel like you could use a little bit of support, like you could use a bit of a solid foundation right now. And it feels like a solid foundation for your heart. It feels like you need to feel held, you need to feel supported in your heart, because we are going to 6, the sacred chalice. So it could be that, you know, you don't have anywhere to call home at the moment, or maybe you feel a little bit uprooted, or you feel like you would like to have more of a firm foundation that you don't have at the moment. Let's bring in some more cards. We have the condor. Oh. And we have kiwi. Interesting. Okay, so I will read the words on the cards because there may be an extra message for somebody in there, because this is a group reading, so we take what resonates, we leave what doesn't make sense. So Condor, you're too enmeshed in this situation, so step back and see the bigger picture before making any decisions or taking actions. Kiwi, do a walking meditation each day for the next week. Well, that's good advice for everyone. But the little walking kiwi is a very sweet little bird. Okay. So Condor, very sacred bird. Very sacred. In the traditions in the Americas, condor can see further. You know, condor can fly higher than all the other birds, can look over the horizon, can see much further. He knows what's coming. And it does feel like in some ways you know what's coming in the world. You know that the age of Aquarius is upon us. You know that the world is going to change, and that's why you have to have your own way of doing things, why you know you need to be your own person. I think you've already always known this. Right from a young child, there's quite an original energy, however it played out in your life. But I think to bring the balance back into your life, it could literally be about walking. Because the kiwi, I'm not sure if they're completely flightless, but they do walk. I want to talk about walking. I do want to talk about being grounded by literally being on the ground, touching the ground. So it could be going out in nature that will help to ground you, will help you to feel calmer, will help you to feel more, I want to say more in your soul for some reason. That's interesting. Okay, so there could be some stuff with your soul being a little bit fragmented at the moment. You could need to call some pieces back to you. You might have spread your energy too thin. You may have tried to help too many people in your life and left a bit of energy here, a bit of energy there, a bit of energy over there. Too many people sapping your energy at the moment. And that can certainly happen if you've been in any situation where you were enmeshed, where there was codependency. It could be with a parent, it could be with a partner, a friend, even at work. That can happen. You know, how we can have unhealthy relationships with our employer, with our place of work. So that could be something to look at here, healing and actually calling all of those pieces back to you. It could be time to do a ceremony to literally call in your fragmented pieces, and that is something that you can do. It's not particularly difficult to do, but it may be something for you to look at, calling in fragmented aspects of you so that you can feel whole again, so that you can feel calmer, more grounded. I want to talk about grounding for you as well. walking, going out in nature with the beaver and the kiwi together. I do want to talk about finding ways to ground your energy so that you can feel more in the here and now, more okay in your own skin, more like you actually belong. Because I feel there is a sense of not belonging some of the time, almost like you don't belong in this dimension, you don't belong in this world, you don't belong on this planet. You know, there's starseed energy coming in here, there's connections to other places and other times. So it could be a very challenging lifetime for you in that respect, just because you don't feel like you fit. And that's definitely a difficult one. But you're trying to fit, but you're also trying to sing your own song. So, you know, it's definitely not an easy one, not an easy task. Okay, so we have Redwood, Ancient Teachings, of course we do. And the beaver's going to make a foundation from the ancient teachings of the Redwood. Ah, interesting. Holly, be a spiritual warrior. I feel like you already are. We have Autumn, Harvest and Sow. Right, okay, I'll get some more of those in a minute. Yeah, and then on the bottom we've got Dandelion, Persist in Pursuits. So, yeah, it feels like you're already doing some of the right things. It does. It feels like you're already doing some of the right things, even if people criticise you for them, because you know what's right for you. But I want to bring in stability by bringing in your spirituality. It feels like your spiritual life can be your anchor if you find the right way to do it, because you are here to be a change agent. You are here to help humanity to evolve and for you to experience that revolution for yourself. I got the word revolution for some reason. I was going to say evolution, but revolution jumped out. Yeah, you are learning about the cycles of being a human, and I think as you go through that, it's going to feel a bit alien to you. So you're going to be teaching other people about those cycles, about themselves as well. But it does feel to me like you will feel much more grounded if you have a regular spiritual practice. You may need to do yoga, you know, you might need something really grounding like daily prayer, daily meditation, something to really bring you to your centre, so that you're not fragmented, so that you're not here, there and everywhere, to help you feel whole, to help you feel at home and safe in your physical body as well, because it may feel very strange to you, may feel very alien to you, almost like you want to get out of it all the time, or you want to go off astral travelling, yay, you know, or forgetting who you are and what you are, forgetting your physical body. There could be some physical neglect there as well. I'm drawn to the red berries of the holly. I want to go to I nearly said sacral chakra then, so I'm going to bring that in. I was going to say root chakra, but sacral wanted to jump out of my mouth. So we're going to go to both of those. We are going to go to both. We're going to bring in some deeper red energy here as well. Maybe red foods, not holly berries. I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to eat those. Don't eat them. Don't eat them, then come and blame me. Don't do that. Yeah, maybe red apples or red foods, which are healthy red foods. I want to bring that in for you. Interesting, we've got some red colour here with red wood as well. Huh, I hadn't noticed that. All right, interesting correlation there, just popping out at me. But the sacral chakra as well, so the bottom two of the major 7 chakras looks like they could really use some support. They could use strengthening, I want to say. Yes, balancing, but strengthening as well. So red and orange crystals would be very helpful for you. Jasper is actually a really good one. This is a Dalmatian Jasper, but Jasper is generally, let's bring in a red Jasper. It's a very good grounding stone. And it is actually a very, very good stone to help the root chakra. So I just quickly looked up the crystals, and apparently Dalmatian Jasper isn't a true Jasper, so perhaps it should be called Dalmatian stone. But I am drawn to Jasper for you, to red Jasper. Dalmatian Jasper apparently can help with spiritual journeying as well. So I'm going to recommend you look up those 2 stones, red Jasper and Dalmatian Jasper, find a little bit more about them. So if you're drawn to either of those to actually work with in your own life as well, because I think that could bring in a lot of help, a lot of support there for you. So let's just bring in some little angel cards here. Get a last message. Oh, we want to have 3, do we? Okay, then we can have 3. We have spontaneity. Oh, simplicity. Yeah, I really feel like I want to simplify your life, and flexibility. It's like you need all of those things to be happy, and sometimes they kind of seem to be at war with each other. So yeah, with simplicity, I want to say declutter if you're hanging on to some things that you don't need and don't want anymore, that just aren't helping you. Yeah, there could really be some stuff that you need to get get rid of, some people you need to get rid of if there's any kind of codependent energy going on there, somebody hanging on to you, leeching you, sapping your spiritual energy. Flexibility, interesting, because I did mention yoga could be a very helpful spiritual practice for some of you, so that's something to look into. Yeah, but keep being you. Keep being your magical, spontaneous self. You know, you are a very special being. And I want to say, don't change. Don't change. Don't change who you are. Don't feel that you have to curb that. You can still be this amazing being and find a more grounded, gentle lifestyle for yourself at the same time. Like the dolphin says, this and that are true. You can have both. But you may have to find quite an original, new way of doing it. But you have this very original, new energy. So I think you'll find a way to do that. Could also be a connection here to Larimar crystal, I just want to mention, which is the dolphin stone, which is connected to Atlantis. Very helpful for Atlantean souls on Earth at this time. So that was your reading, pile 5. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do remember to subscribe to the channel if that resonates for you. Leave me a like. Please do leave me a comment if there's something you'd like to share with us all. I do love to read your comments. I said dove, so there could be a message with dove coming through there as well. They've really been playing with my mouth the past couple of days. Remember, messages come through me, not from me. You take very, very good care of yourself, pile 5. I will see you in the next reading. I'm sending you many, many blessings. Thank you. Bye-bye.